dreaming of freedom in a locked world.
Every night I fall asleep dreaming of freedom.
In those dreams, the walls disappear.
The air feels lighter.
I can move, breathe, decide.
I imagine a life where I am no longer confined by circumstances, limitations, or invisible chains.
But then morning comes. I open my eyes and I am still in the same place, familiar walls, familiar silence, familiar restrictions. Nothing has changed. For a few moments, I allow myself to feel the disappointment. I let it sink in. I swallow it slowly, because pretending it isn't there would be dishonest.
Then I stand up and begin my morning routine.
Push-ups, movement, discipline, action. Maybe tomorrow, I tell myself I'll wake up somewhere else. Hope is not something I allow myself to lose. And this matters especially for those who are reading this from the comfort of their homes yet still feel trapped. Maybe you're not where you want to be in life. Maybe you're not as successful as you imagined you'd be by now.
Maybe financially, emotionally, or mentally you feel stuck in a cell you didn't choose.
You wake up each day dreaming of freedom, and then reality hits. That disappointment is universal. But here is the key: once you swallow the disappointment, you must act immediately. There is no room for hesitation. When I was confined, I never missed a single day of training. Not one. I didn't sit in the corner telling myself I was too depressed, too tired, too hungry, or too cold. I didn't make excuses about fasting, about discomfort, about hopelessness.
Every single day we trained.
We woke up disappointed. We accepted it. And we worked. If discipline is possible in a freezing jail cell, surrounded by filth, uncertainty, and fear, then it is possible anywhere. If we could train with cockroaches crawling around us, not knowing when freedom would return, then you can train in a clean, air-conditioned gym with music, mirrors, and comfort. The question is simple: what is your excuse? The power of the mind and the body. The human mind is far more powerful than most people realize. If you imagine something vividly and consistently, if you feel it deeply enough, your body begins to respond as though it is real.
Imagine this day after day. You visualize yourself in battle.
Not a fantasy battle, but a mental war. You imagine pressure, resistance, enemies trying to stop you. You imagine yourself standing firm, moving with confidence, striking with precision. You feel strength in your muscles, fire in your chest, clarity in your mind. If you did this fully, truly, you would not remain unchanged. Your hormone levels would shift. Your posture would change. Your muscles would grow stronger. Your presence would become more dominant. The mind leads and the body follows. This is not theory. This is biology. Becoming worthy of respect. Respect is not given. It is earned. And it is earned through things that are difficult to obtain.
First, you must understand the role of money.
People listen differently when you have financial success. They just do. Money amplifies your voice. It doesn't make you wise, but it makes people pay attention. If you want influence, you must focus seriously on building wealth. Second, you must be in excellent physical condition. Physical excellence cannot be purchased. It can only be earned. When someone is strong, disciplined, and fit, people subconsciously understand that sacrifice and commitment were required. If an unhealthy person tries to sell me discipline, motivation, or success, I will not trust them the same way I trust someone who clearly lives by those principles. Money and physical condition form the foundation, but they are not enough. Communication, the ultimate superpower. Your ideas are worthless if they stay trapped inside your head. Communication is a superpower. It determines whether your thoughts die with you or shape the world. You must learn to express ideas clearly, confidently, and persuasively.
This includes speaking, debating, arguing, and listening.
There are countless people with brilliant ideas who will never influence anyone because they cannot project those ideas into another person's mind. Understanding your own thoughts is one skill.
Making others understand them is another.
And making others agree with them is an entirely different discipline.
If you are young and driven, you should be debating constantly in real life, not behind screens. You must learn to disagree without insults, to challenge without hostility, and to persuade without force.
These skills are developed only through practice. I have said the same ideas in different ways and received completely different reactions. The difference was not the message, it was the delivery. Tone, timing, body language, and empathy matter. You catch more influence through understanding than aggression, though sometimes aggression has its place. A complete individual develops a full toolkit. You must know when to be assertive and when to be gentle, when to challenge and when to listen, when to intimidate and when to reassure. These are not instincts, they are learned skills. If I had to give one piece of advice to a truly driven young person, it would be this: master communication. Once you do, everything else becomes easier. Sales, influence, and human nature. Sales is not deception. It is understanding. The best salespeople do not lie, they identify what matters to others and communicate value accordingly. I once sold something people thought they didn't need. The product itself wasn't the point. The point was discovering what triggered concern, interest, or desire. People are motivated by emotion more than logic. Learn that, and you learn influence.
But communication alone is not enough.
You must do something worth communicating.
Living a life worth talking about.
Wisdom does not come from age, it comes from experience. A person with no stories has lived safely, predictably, and passively. Risk gives life texture. The stories people remember, the ones that inspire, entertain, and teach, are always built around uncertainty. Something could have gone wrong.
Something was at stake.
If you want to be compelling, you must live boldly. That doesn't mean recklessly, but it does mean deliberately stepping into discomfort. Travel, compete, confront fear. Put yourself in situations where failure is possible.
Risk is valuable because it transforms you.
Hard paths create strong people.
There used to be rites of passage. Boys became men by enduring something difficult. Today, those rituals are gone. So if you want to become strong, you must create your own trials. Physical combat taught me more about life than comfort ever could.
Fighting reveals character.
It teaches discipline, humility, fear management, and perseverance. It shows you who supports you and who disappears when things go wrong. Difficulty strips away illusion.
Without voluntary hardship, a person remains unfinished.
Provocation and truth. Sometimes people need to be offended to be awakened. Comfort breeds stagnation.
Harsh truth creates motion.
If someone is failing and refuses to change, soft encouragement may not be enough.
Sometimes the shock of reality is the only catalyst strong enough to force action.
This is not cruelty, it is urgency.
Learning from the successful.
Surround yourself with those who have already
Succeeded. Listen to what they say and how they say it.
Style matters as much as substance.
Today, access to wisdom has never been easier. You can learn while driving, exercising, or preparing for the day. Repetition shapes belief. Absorb powerful ideas until they become part of how you think. Ideas, when understood, internalized, and applied, become fuel. But remember, hard work alone is not enough. Many sincere people work tirelessly and still end up broke and unhappy. You must work intelligently. Observe patterns. Study success. Invest time, money, and effort into developing your mind. Because the greatest investment you will ever make is in your own intellect and spirit. That investment compounds for life.